Let's talk about respect, that precious, intangible thing everyone's battling for. That thing that they claim you should earn, respect. It's a deadly game, respect. The very phrase, respect, from the Latin respectar, indicates to look back at something, to give it a second view. But look at yourselves, gazing back at individuals who've already determined who you should be, how you should behave, who you should respect. They expect you to answer, yes, yes, I'll earn it. I'll play by your rules. That's the catch, isn't it? We live by their rules, and when we die, well, we die with respect. Or do we? Respect. People think it's all about kneeling, obeying, but maybe, just maybe, it's about standing up. And for what? Yourself. The only person who can legitimately demand respect is you. But let me guess, others have been telling you the opposite. They say, to gain respect, you've got to give it. But if everyone's following that line, who's calling the shots? Some nice, polished hero? And where does that leave you? In the shadows, forgotten before you even have the chance to be remembered. Now here's a twist for you. Don't let your respect expire. Die with respect. Sure, but don't live your life on your knees, allowing that flicker of power inside you get extinguished out like some pathetic little flame. Die with respect, but don't let your respect die. The lovely paradox of respect. Everyone says they want it, they need it, but they'd sell their souls to acquire it. You see, respect is a struggle. It's a battle, and the battlefield is your mind. They advise you, earn respect, be respectable, act right, and the whole while they're using respect like a chain around your neck. You ever felt it? That continual temptation to play by their rules, to fulfill their small checklist of success? You want to know the truth? The respectable folks, the ones they parade in front of you like show dogs, they're the ones most stuck. They're the ones who've handed their own respect away, bit by bit, hoping to get a small pat on the head, a smile, a nod. So polite, so silent. They've played by the rules their whole lives, the model citizens. The good little lambs died with honor, like they were promised they should. But you're here because somewhere deep inside, you've got a spark that says, maybe there's more. Maybe there's a bit of lunacy in you. Maybe respect isn't about dying with a polished eulogy. Maybe it's about living in a way that even death can't silence. Die with respect, but don't let your respect die. Respect, real respect, isn't about asking for permission. No, no, no. It's about taking a long, hard look in the mirror and saying, what do I stand for? Now, this might surprise you, but maybe it's time to be a little selfish. Maybe it's time to quit dancing for everyone else's approval. Ever thought about what it would feel like to be the villain in your own story? Not the genuine terrible man, but the one who defies everyone else's expectations, the one who does what he thinks is right. Let me tell you something. A villain can be feared, misunderstood, even hated, but you know what? People will always remember a villain. They'll respect him. Why? Because he's the one who dares to break the illusion. He's the one who chooses to say, no, I won't give my respect away. So go ahead, create your own kind of evil. Break away from that impulse to fit in, to do the right thing. When you respect yourself enough to travel your own path, to reject the expectations, to take risks, oh, people will despise you for it. They'll label you, mock you, dread you, but they'll respect you, not because you asked for it, but because you demanded it. Most individuals have the concept of respect completely wrong. They assume it's this set thing, something you either have or you don't. But respect isn't an object. It's a reflection of your might, your courage. It's the sense people get when they know you're not some easily manipulated puppet. Let me ask you, how often do you give away your respect? How many times do you say, "Sure, I'll do that. No problem. Yes, sir. Of course, I'll be reasonable." That's you handing up a chunk of your esteem. Every time you compromise your own beliefs for someone else's acceptance, your respect dies a little. And here's the kicker. Nobody will respect you if you don't respect yourself. Not really. If you're bending and breaking to satisfy everyone, what's left of you? Nothing. They'll chew you up and spit you out, and all that'll be left is a shadow of who you might have been. Instead, define respect on your own terms. Maybe respect is saying no when they all want you to say yes. Maybe respect is choosing the road everyone else is afraid to walk. Maybe, just maybe, respect is determining that your approval counts more than theirs. Do you know what's scarier than death for most people? Living without approval. People are scared of being alone, of standing apart, of stepping away from the crowd. They desire that sense of belonging, that yearning to be liked, accepted, even revered. They'll do anything to keep in the throng, to avoid being labeled weird, rebellious, different. But here's the secret. Approval doesn't mean respect. Approval signifies conformity. Approval suggests you've succeeded to fit into their mold. Real respect doesn't come from fitting in. It comes from the bravery to stand out, to declare, "I'm different, I'm fierce, and I don't need anyone's approval." Imagine a world where you're not living for praise, for smiles, for nods. Imagine a life where your esteem, your value, comes from within. That's when you genuinely start to live. That's when you're free. So many people live little, careful lives, expecting to be liked, to be remembered lovingly. But let me tell you something. People remember those who dared to be courageous. They remember the ones who shattered their expectations, who made a mark, who questioned the system. And that's the beauty of respect. It's the legacy of a life lived unapologetically. Think about it. In the end of it all, you'll die. We all will. But when they recall you, what will they say? "Oh, he was such a nice person, very agreeable, always fit in?" Or do you want them to say, that one didn't play by the rules. That one didn't ask for permission." Remember, respect isn't about having everyone like you. It's about leaving an imprint so deep that no one can refute it. It's about living a life so genuine to yourself that even death can't take that respect away. You have an option. You can live a life where you're bending over backward, giving up your dignity, your principles, and your identity just to fit into their mold. Or you can choose to stand up, to accept who you are, to demand respect by living on your terms. Yes, it's hazardous. Yes, many will judge you, some may even loathe you. But you'll have something they'll never have, freedom. And in that freedom, your respect lives. It expands, it roars, it defines you. In the end, die with respect, but don't let your respect die. Implies this. Live boldly, live defiantly, live in a way that even in death, you'll be remembered not for how well you played the game, but for how brilliantly you broke the rules, for how fiercely you lived. Don't be scared to set your own rules, to walk your own road, to value yourself above all others. Because when you live like that, respect isn't just something you earn, it's something you become. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening. Now go out there and make some waves, leave a mark, break their expectations. Because respect, true respect, doesn't come to those who ask for it. It comes to those who demand it. And remember, die with respect, but don't let your respect die.